The password manager market is always improving, so it can sometimes be tough to make comparisons between providers. When security architectures, features, and price points can be pretty similar, how can you know which company truly is the best? I've done a thorough analysis to try to answer this question for two of the top password managers, so let's get into it in this 1Password versus Dashlane comparison. Okay, it's only right to start with security. After all, a password manager's sole purpose is to store your data and keep it safe. This relies on strong encryption. And since both Dashlane and 1Password use recognized ciphers which are virtually unhackable, there isn't much to expand on here. Next, let's talk about additional layers of security to actually access the accounts. Both use master passwords and the option for biometric authentication. There are also traditional MFA methods like email or authentication apps. Either way, all options make your account harder to hack. A zero-knowledge architecture is another standard, albeit vital practice in the password manager market. This complements encryption well because it means your passwords are completely private, and nobody at either company could access them or view them, even if you ask them to. Finally, independent security audits confirm the robustness of both providers' security frameworks. These audits are important because they prove from an unbiased perspective that a company maintains high security standards. So far, our comparison hasn't turned up many glaring differences, I know, but what really separates these two is transparency, because Dashlane is partly open source. Even though this is only for their mobile applications, in the cybersecurity world, that still means a lot. Open source software can be viewed by cybersecurity experts at any time, so any vulnerabilities or bugs can be reported. Considering open source password managers are few and far between, Dashlane Password Manager does have a slight edge here, but that isn't to say that 1Password is any less secure. Remember, if you want a safe password manager, I've added exclusive links in the description, or you can scan the QR code to check those out. Moving on, perhaps comparing features gives us a clearer understanding of each provider's strengths. Firstly, it's no surprise to see that they both have all the essential stuff, like password generators, autofill, and the ability to securely send passwords. A few minor differences are that 1Password lets me generate passwords that include words or even PIN codes. Dashlane's autofill is just as useful as 1Password's, and both automatically paste my account credentials and even card information. However, 1Password autofill works with more operating systems and can be used on their application as well as the browser extension. Sending encrypted passwords is simple with each provider, and they both let you add important parameters like expiration dates and specifying how much access the receiver has. However, there is one big difference. To receive a Dashlane password, you need to have an account, while with 1Password, anyone, even non-members, can receive an entry. Account recovery is also a feature they share, but this is implemented very differently. If you forget your master password, you can use a recovery code to re-access your accounts from both 1Password and Dashlane. But 1Password has an additional feature for emergency situations. This is the emergency kit, which you can get when you create an account and has all the details for you to log in. You can give this to a trusted recipient in case of emergencies. Just make sure it is stored somewhere safe. Dashlane did have an emergency contact feature, but unfortunately got rid of it along with their desktop apps. Now they suggest creating a dash file with all of your passwords on it, storing it on a USB, and then sharing the password with a trusted recipient through a secure note. Though you can use dash file to import any data into a new account, this whole process just seems long and complicated to me. Finally, they both have encrypted file storage and ways to monitor the health of your passwords. Now let's talk about unique features in this 1Password versus Dashlane video. 1Password has a one-of-a-kind travel mode feature. If I'm going away, I can mark particular folders and entries as safe to travel. Anything else will not be viewable until I return, and turn off travel mode. 1Password also has a slight edge in terms of backups, seeing as they're all automatic, where Dashlane's are strictly manual. However, Dashlane does offer a VPN with their premium plans, which can be downloaded as a separate app. A VPN makes your online browsing and activity more private. Although not as feature-packed as an independent tool, Dashlane's version can be used on 5 different devices and relies on the popular provider Hotspot Shield. As you can see, both password managers are equipped to safeguard your data and accounts. Dashlane comes with an extra privacy tool, but 1Password has implemented features better overall. However, before jumping into the conclusion, pricing is also a really big consideration. So which one has the better price to value ratio? First off, 1Password does not have a free plan, only a 14-day trial. On the other hand, Dashlane offers a forever free plan, though it's really basic, capping accounts at 25 passwords and is only accessible on one device. This is why it really makes sense to do a 1Password review versus Dashlane review, comparing the premium subscriptions only. To that end, 1Password's individual plan is significantly cheaper and comes with all of the features I've mentioned. Even when looking at family plans, Dashlane costs more, though you do get 10 members compared to 1Password's 5. While 1Password costs less, I'd say that both of these password managers are fairly priced in the market, and it really depends on your budget. Remember, you can see the most updated and best prices through the links below. Now, what about ease of use? After all, being able to access and manage your passwords easily is the bread and butter of any worthwhile password manager. The biggest difference here is that Dashlane does not have a desktop application and is strictly accessible through the browser on desktops. On the other hand, 1Password has a desktop application or a browser extension, which feels more cohesive. Otherwise, using each provider feels intuitive, and to be honest, their designs aren't that dissimilar, with neat categorizations and security tools tucked away under relevant tabs. The same can be said about their mobile applications too. I didn't have any major complaints here. Maybe my biggest point overall has to be that 1Password's family plan is one of the best I've used as an admin. Each user has separate vaults that work autonomously, but I found altering permissions and who sees what to be really easy. There we have two best password manager options analyzed in this Dashlane versus 1Password video. But what's the bottom line? 1Password costs less, has excellent implementation of features, and has additional perks for families or frequent travelers. On the other hand, Dashlane is partially open source and has a basic free plan for those willing to settle for lesser security to save some coin. While 1Password is my preferred provider right now, both providers will offer daily protection for your passwords. But what are your thoughts? Sound off in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you back here again soon.